The moment the doors of the Blue Dragon Awards slid open with their slow, luxurious hiss, a spark, almost invisible yet unmistakable, moved through the room like electricity. Cameras hadn't begun flashing yet, hosts hadn't taken their places, and the program hadn't even started. Still, something in the air shifted. It was that same quiet current fans had sensed before, the one that had been brewing ever since King the Land first coated the world with its warm charm and sly, unspoken promises. Yoona appeared first, a silhouette draped in elegance, diamond-lit, effortless, the kind of presence that silences a crowd before they realize they've stopped talking. Only a few seconds later, Junho stepped into the same spotlight, dressed in a dark suit sharp enough to cut through every whispering rumor the industry had tried to bury. But when his eyes caught hers, just a glance, quick as a heartbeat, yet deep enough to restart one, everyone who witnessed it felt the same thing at once. This story wasn't over. It was only evolving. And maybe, just maybe, it was turning real. Ever since King the Land ended, fans had insisted that no on-screen chemistry burned that naturally unless something lingered behind the scenes. Every interview felt charged, every behind-the-scenes clip felt too warm, every smile lingering a little too long. Their gestures, their conversations, the ease in their laughter. It never felt manufactured. Felt lived. And when the award show clip leaked just weeks ago, showing Junho subtly searching the audience and Yoona trying not to blush under the lights, the internet imploded. Because that look, the one that ricocheted across TikTok, YouTube, and every fan forum in existence, felt like déjà vu. Not the fake kind, not the edited kind. The real kind. The I know you, even when the cameras are off kind. It reminded people of the night fans now call the elevator moment. A leaked snippet from the King the Land wrap-up party showed Yoona stepping inside an elevator while Junho, talking to staff, instinctively paused mid-sentence as if he sensed her leaving. His eyes followed her until the doors closed. It lasted 5 seconds, maybe less, but fans clung to those 5 seconds like prophecy. And now, months later, standing beneath the Blue Dragon spotlights, that same energy rushed back. Familiar, magnetic, impossible to ignore. No one expected what happened next. As the ceremony progressed, Yoona took her seat, a soft glow brushing her shoulders while the audience settled into its rhythm. Junho sat several rows away, but anyone watching closely could tell he wasn't fully paying attention to the stage. His posture was composed, but his eyes betrayed him. Every so often, barely noticeable unless you were looking for it, he glanced in her direction. At first, fans called it coincidence. Then the official broadcast replay caught it twice more. And then a behind-the-scenes phone recording captured him doing it a 4th time. By the 5th clip, fans had already declared it fate. But the real twist happened when the ceremony ended. While reporters rushed toward the exits and actors exchanged courteous goodbyes, Junho moved deliberately. Not fast, not suspiciously slow, but with a kind of quiet certainty that suggested purpose. Yoona was chatting with her manager near the back door, the cool night folding around them like velvet. For a brief moment, Junho hesitated, his gaze lowering, his jaw tightening. Then he walked toward her. The clip wasn't meant to go viral. A backstage staffer happened to be filming the exit for personal memories, unaware that the recording captured a history-shifting moment for 2 of Korea's most beloved stars. When Junho approached Yoona, she looked up, surprised at first, then softened instantly. His voice couldn't be heard. Too many people around, but fans analyzed every frame. He bowed. He bowed back. He said something. She laughed. He reached up, almost unconsciously, to adjust the strap of a gift bag slipping from her shoulder. Gentle, careful, familiar. And fans lost their minds. Across TikTok and YouTube, hashtags exploded, edits soared into millions of views, and whispers that had once sounded like fantasies began reshaping into something sharper, more confident, more real. Because as much as their agencies denied it, something had changed. Something subtle but undeniable. Journalists who attended the after-party reported that the two seemed closer than ever. Comfortable, warm, sharing small inside jokes that made them lean in to hide smiles. Nothing overly romantic, nothing scandalous, but enough to make anyone watching believe that whatever bond they formed on set never truly dissolved. And in truth, how could it? King the Land wasn't a drama built on extravagant gestures or melodramatic declarations. It was built on warmth, on sincerity, on that simple, real-world kind of affection that grows naturally, without being forced. The kind where chemistry isn't a trick of lighting or editing. It's the quiet electricity between two people who simply fit. People still talk about the rooftop scene, the one where Junho's character watches Yoona laugh under the city lights. Fans swear that moment wasn't acting. His smile was too soft, too unguarded. And when Yoona filmed her scene of watching him from across the table in that iconic sunlight-filled restaurant, something about the way her eyes lingered. It felt like something blooming rather than something scripted. And months later, that same energy surfaced again on the night of the Blue Dragon Awards. But the real story, the one the fans grasped, dissected, cherished, wasn't just about stolen glances. It was about timing. Because only 2 months ago, rumors resurfaced linking the two after fans noticed they wore suspiciously similar accessories, matching black minimalist bracelets, and were seen arriving at different events with identical phone charms. Coincidence? Possibly. But the universe rarely arranges coincidences so neatly. And Twitter did what Twitter always does. Magnified everything until it glowed with possibility. It didn't help that during a variety show appearance weeks later, Junho was asked what kind of woman catches his eye. His answer was vague enough to be professional, yet specific enough to ignite new flames. Someone warm, he said. Someone who can laugh even when life is noisy. Someone who feels comfortable, even in silence. Fans didn't need a name. They already had one. Meanwhile, Yoona was asked during an interview who her closest industry friend at the moment was. Her answer: "I've grown closer to someone I worked with last year," she said with a coy smile that sent every fan's heart spinning. Someone I trust. She didn't say the name. She didn't need to. And now, with this new wave of footage, every rumor, every whisper, every fan wish suddenly feels like it's inching toward reality. The industry may call it coincidence. Agencies may call it misunderstanding. But fans know the rhythm by now. They've seen this dance play out with countless couples before. A slow reveal, careful steps, cautious timing. Except this time it feels different. Feels aligned. It feels like the natural next chapter in a story that began with scripted romance and is now drifting toward something unscripted, unexpected, and breathtakingly hopeful. Because when two people share chemistry that doesn't dim even after the camera's cut, when their glances linger even in crowded rooms, when their comfort with each other feels lived rather than learned. The world did not calm down after that night. If anything, the storm grew louder, swirling with theories that clung to Junho's quiet glances and Yoona's soft reactions like destiny wrapping itself in slow-burn silk. The morning after the Blue Dragon ceremony, timelines erupted as if the universe itself had just dropped an entire season of unanswered questions. Fans replayed clips endlessly, zooming into micro-expressions, measuring milliseconds between glances, capturing breaths that felt too synchronized to be coincidence. The world was dissecting the scene, but the chemistry remained untouched. Raw, undiluted, magnetic. And then came the airport sightings. Not the usual kind where celebrities slip through crowds with masks and hats, vanishing like whispers. No, this time, a strange alignment unfolded. Junho and Yoona flying on the same day to different schedules in similarly timed windows. Parallel paths that shouldn't have collided somehow found themselves in perfect symmetry. Even their outfits seemed accidentally coordinated. Muted tones, soft fabrics, a gentle calmness that made fans whisper, "This is no coincidence, this is choreography." The internet amplified the moment, connecting dots the same way they always have. Recklessly, romantically, and with the unshakable conviction of people who have supported this pairing since their King the Land days. Theories spread like wildfire. Maybe they had breakfast together before flying out. Maybe they shared a van. Maybe the universe was simply tired of subtlety. But the truth, whatever it was, hid beneath polished composure and rehearsed smiles. Junho's fans noticed something else too. A newfound softness in his demeanor during interviews, an almost unguarded warmth when asked about his current inspirations. He didn't mention names, and he didn't need to. The way his eyes softened mid-sentence was enough for the internet to craft its own narrative. Yoona, on the other hand, stunned everyone with a glow too bright to be dismissed as foundation or professional lighting. Something in her had shifted. A softness, a comfort, a serenity that comes only from being truly seen by someone. Fans recognized it instantly because it was the same glow she carried during King the Land, especially in scenes filmed with Junho. The synergy was too precise to ignore. It was romantic déjà vu, but real. The rhythm of their rumored affection felt like the continuation of a story that refused to end when the cameras stopped rolling. It was almost poetic how reality seemed to steal scenes from fiction, each moment threading itself back into the tapestry their drama had left behind. It was the same heartbeat fans remembered, the same cadence, the same whispered tension, all returning like a song the world couldn't stop humming. But the part that sent the fandom into complete meltdown happened 2 weeks later. An anonymous staff member from a luxury boutique posted a vague message online. No photos, no receipts, just a single sentence that electrified the internet. They came separately but asked about the same bracelet. No one needed names. Everyone knew. The fandom exploded in a frenzy of theories, edits, and breakdowns. Some said it was coincidence. Others said it was fate. Many insisted it was a secret couple bracelet. Even news outlets attempted to control the narrative, but the spark was too bright, too precise, too aligned with everything else happening around them. Suspicion turned into certainty, and certainty turned into celebration. Whether it was true or manufactured didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that the world believed it. From that moment on, every step they took became entwined with speculation. When Yoona attended a charity event wearing a silver bracelet peeking subtly under her sleeve, magnified screenshots spread across social platforms like glittered wildfire. When Junho appeared days later with a nearly identical piece, barely visible, almost hidden, the world collapsed under the weight of romantic conspiracy. Fans were no longer asking if, they were asking when. And the universe, almost theatrically, continued delivering fuel. At a fashion event abroad, a journalist casually asked Yoona which co-star she had the best chemistry with. She didn't hesitate, she didn't blink. She simply smiled, a soft, knowing smile, and answered with a name fans hadn't forgotten. Junho was unbelievably easy to connect with. The phrasing was innocent. The tone was not. Meanwhile, Junho, in a separate interview, was asked what he valued most in a partner. His response was so gentle, so unexpectedly vulnerable. It instantly reshaped the ongoing narrative. Someone who understands the weight of silence as deeply as they understand laughter. The fans didn't miss the parallel. Yoona had once described herself as someone who communicates most naturally through unspoken comfort. Their words fit like puzzle pieces waiting years to snap into place. The internet didn't calm down. Roared. And then came the rehearsal room leak. A behind-the-scenes clip surfaced. Grainy, unpolished, probably never meant for public eyes. The footage showed Yoona and Junho greeting each other backstage for a CF shooting. Nothing dramatic, nothing scandalous. Just a warm embrace. Quick, natural, familiar. The kind that didn't belong to acquaintances, nor to co-stars who had finished a drama long ago. It was the kind of hug that sinks into shoulders, that remembers past warmth, that doesn't ask permission because permission has already been granted in trust. The clip lasted 5 seconds. But those 5 seconds rewrote months of speculation into something almost certain. Fans called it confirmation without confirmation. A silent confession carried by the gentle tightening of fingers, by the relaxed shift of posture, by the comfortable closeness that spoke louder than any agency statement ever could. Still, neither of them addressed it. Their silence became the language fans learned to read. And then fate decided to escalate things even further. At a gala dinner, a photographer captured a moment that spiraled into viral domination. Junho helping Yoona adjust her seat before the program began. It was subtle, polite, barely a gesture at all, yet deeply intimate in the way he leaned slightly closer, in the way she smiled softly, in the way their eyes met before turning away. The shot became one of the most shared images of the season. People captioned it with lines like, "Real romance hides in the smallest gestures." This is the way someone looks at a person they cherish. The narrative was writing itself, frame by frame, with both of them unintentionally contributing through glances, timing, coincidences, and rhythms that felt too poetic to dismiss. Everything aligned with the same emotional tone they had left behind in King the Land, as if the universe refused to let their on-screen magic fade into fiction. It was as if their story had always been a slow-burning candle, never extinguished, never forgotten, just patiently waiting for a quiet night to glow again. And that night finally arrived. During a late-evening livestream, Junho was casually reading comments when one viewer asked if he missed any of his past co-stars. His answer was simple but loaded, too carefully phrased to be dismissed as coincidence. "I miss working with people who make every scene feel effortless." He didn't name her. He didn't need to. Moments later, Yoona posted a photo on her social media, a blurry sunset, golden and warm, with the caption,